I'm Brittney Saunders and welcome to Big Business, the place where business is far from boring. And today I'm recording on Gadigal land. Now, I somehow managed to build an empire from the garage underneath my house, and I'm here to share it all with you, from the wins, the mistakes, the challenging times, and the funny moments in between. So whether you're in business already, perhaps you're not in the game at all, maybe you're just looking for some inspo, or you simply just want to hear the tea, this is the podcast for you. Coming up on today's episode, I have yet another special guest. I feel like we're really pumping out the awesome guests in recent weeks and months, if I don't say so myself. Today's guest is an absolute disruptor in the skincare and hair care game. She's the co-founder of TBH Skincare, as well as the newly launched Bouf, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Indy Clinton and the viral wig scenario that we all saw across our FYPs in recent weeks. And she's a total weapon when it comes to product, branding, and building cult status online. She's funny, down to earth, brutally honest, and knows how to make all things science and skincare sexy. Please welcome Rachael Wilde to Big Business.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you on. I only saw you last week.
I know. I feel like I saw you yesterday. What are we going to talk about?
What are we going to do next week? We're just getting together every week
at
this stage. I'm so excited to have you on, and I feel like we have so much that we could cover. But before we jump into all the juicy topics and questions that I want to ask you, can you just give me like an elevator pitch for anyone that isn't familiar with you and your story and what it is that you do?
Yes. My name's Rach. I co-founded a business called TBH Skincare 5 years ago. That was, back in 2020. It is a skincare brand specifically for people with acne-prone skin. We licensed a patented medical tech, brought it into skincare, and that's how that business launched. But since then, I have co-founded another company called York Street Brands, which is actually the parent company that now owns TBH, and another brand called Boost Lab. It was the result of a merger, and we just launched our third brand, which is called Bouf. You may have seen it. It is a hair care brand, and again, licenses a patented tech for hair growth. But that's me.
Nice. And just maybe what made you get into all of this? That's what I want to know as well.
Honestly, I never planned to. I say I'm a bit of an accidental business owner, founder, because I just was obsessed with marketing. That's what I love doing.
What did you do before TBH?
I studied marketing at uni. So I was I would say pretty solid student, but I was always quite creative. I thought I wanted to go and do fashion design or something.
Yep.
And then I decided actually I wasn't quite that creative, and I sort of settled on marketing. It was a very last minute decision. Ended up going to uni, and I loved my degree. I was a bit of a nerd at uni. And then I was like, this is what I meant to do. So I went into corporate though after uni. I ended up in medical devices, which is literally the most unsexy industry.
What is medical devices?
Medical devices is the joints that get sold into hospitals to put in your knees when you're having a knee surgery, all of the equipment and tools and tech that get used in a hospital or healthcare setting. So I was working in that in marketing. So marketing to surgeons, it was B2B. It was not really sexy, but very corporate, quite commercial, taught me a lot. And then it was through that industry that I actually found the tech that we ended up licensing for TBH. And that launched that whole thing. So that's how I ended up where I am now. I just went into that corporate job. I did pretty well. I was their first ever social media hire, hilariously, in medical devices, in medtech.
Wow.
And then I grew with that team and had a pretty broad remit, by the time I left, but spotted this tech that was being used in hospital and healthcare. And they had found out it could be used in skincare to treat acne, or the bacteria behind acne. And I heard about it and selfishly was really interested because I've had a really long experience with acne myself, and my skin has tormented me for decades. And so I was like, I want to try this product, but also I'd been privy to sort of how things worked in that industry. A lot of stuff gets done on distribution deals. No one really, a lot of these research and development companies don't actually take tech direct to market themselves, especially not in beauty. So I just started asking questions. I was like, what the hell? What's happening with this tech? This is really cool. I read all the patents. I tried the product, and then ended up pitching for the licensing rights to that tech to say, well, if you're not going to take it to market, let me take it to market.
Wow.
And build the brand. And I think I'd read branding books and business books, and I was just really interested in brand building.
Was this like your first ever attempt at anything business-wise?
Yeah.
Like you'd never done anything prior?
No. And I don't come from like my two parents they're accountants.
Yep.
And I co-founded it with my mum in the end. She came into the business.
Oh, really?
We did it together. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we worked together and she's like the brains behind all the finance and ops and all the modelling and everything behind the business, which was great because us as a team were really, really good because then I was on the other side of the brain doing all the creative brand building, front-facing stuff. And, yeah, we worked well as a team, but no one in my family really had, like, done business, e-com business.
Yeah.
Or, like, I think my grandpa had I think he had a printing shop.
Nice.
I'm like, that's like...
Maybe that's where you get it from.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe there's a DNA in there that, likes business, but, yeah.
And what's your role?
My role is now CMO. So I'm Chief Marketing Officer for all the brands.
And what does your day look like? I'm curious to know.
Oh, my God. Meetings. It's just meetings all day, every day, back to back,
Yep.
which I kind of love. I have had a really interesting transition from being founder-led in the business, doing everything. You would know what it's like, wearing multiple hats, doing the customer service, doing the packing, coming up with the products, writing the copy, doing everything on the website, buying the ads, cutting the content for the ads, like everything. To then we went through this merger and we got capital into the business to really help fast track the growth, got us, well prepped for retail. We'd already started those conversations with the likes of Priceline, but, it gave us the working capital resources that we needed to stock that and market it and everything else. But with that, then we had so much more to do and we had more resources. I had to build a team to do it because I was one person. So I ended up stepping into a C-suite role basically overnight.
Wow.
And that was a really hard transition. One that I love now. I adore my job now, but I think I struggled a lot in that transition.
I feel like where you and I feel like we're both so similar, but then our actual businesses are so different.
So different.
Yeah. Even though like people would see TBH and then they'd see Fate and they would see like your social media and the TBH social media and Bouf and like all the stuff that you're doing. They'd see Fate and they look kind of similar.
Yes.
But then our companies are structured completely differently.
Yeah.
I feel like you're way more corporate.
We are.
And I am backyard bogan.
Yeah, no, I
Still
love
just
that.
figuring this shit out as I go.
Well.
Yeah. But two different things.
Yeah.
And that intrigues me and fascinates me so much because as you know, I have no clue about capital or having investors or...
Oh, but... Doll, I didn't have a choice. I had to take on the money. The fact that you've never raised or had any debt in your business is like the most impressive thing I've ever heard.
Thanks.
Literally, it's so impressive. It's wild.
Well, let's get on to talking about Bouf. I feel like everyone knows TBH. By the way, I used your rebound serum this morning. I'm loving
that why
it.
Your skin's glowing?
Yeah. Are you using it too, Xander?
You're using it? Oh, my God.
Oh, because you had it at the book launch.
Oh, that's so cool.
I have to say, it is like the only kind of like moisturizer or anything that doesn't because I got sensitive skin, it doesn't burn my skin and I just feel so nice after it. I use it every morning.
Yes.
And before I go to bed.
Yes.
Everyone needs to get
that.
the Milky Rebound.
It's so the Rebound's a range, but
Okay.
there's the Rebound serum was the original product and now it's extended into a toner and a mask and a lip treatment.
They're all really
the Milky
good.
toner is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is so good.
So nice.
Props to you. Shout out to TBH.
Everyone needs to go and get one. Use my
Love
code
that.
Brittney10 for 10%.
Actually, though.
But I want to talk about Bouf.
Yeah.
I have loved seeing the whole journey of Bouf, and I was really excited when I saw you posting on your TikTok and stuff that you were launching a new brand and you were kind of taking your audience on that behind the scenes journey with you, which we all know is so important, especially in 2025, that behind the scenes content.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about Bouf, why you decided to do a whole other brand.
Yeah.
And I'd also love to talk more as well about your decision to have a influencer, Indy Clinton, be the face of the brand essentially.
Yeah.
I want to know more about that, and I want to talk about the wigs.
She wants
I
to
want to
talk
talk.
about
I want to go there. I want to
course she
talk
does.
about the wigs.
Whoa. Okay, let's start with Bouf and
Yeah.
why that happened. Similar story to TBH, which is kind of fascinating. Now that we've got this system I say system, it's like that corporate structure built up at York Street.
Yeah.
We've got a big marketing team. We almost have this engine that runs the brands now. And so adding in another brand was a matter of adding in a couple extra headcount and maybe getting a little bit more money on board. Like it wasn't... We weren't faced with, oh my gosh, we're starting a business again from scratch.
It's like doing the same thing, like repeating your formula of what you've done with TBH, but it's just a new brand and a new product.
And all the lessons and all the pain that I went through in the early days of failing and getting back up and failing and getting back up, they were all learnings that I was able to take and apply to Bouf from day one. So you're just looking at a completely different start to TBH, which excited me. I think... You know, it's like do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times. Like, I think it also saw it as like a bit of a challenge. Like, can I do it again?
This is the thing as well. Like, what I think you're similar to me, and it might be a founder thing. But what is it with people like us and just wanting to do more?
I know.
Like,
Never
what is
satisfied.
wrong with us? Yeah.
Never satisfied.
What is wrong with us?
So it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a constant itch to need to do like something else, or it's never enough. But yeah, so I think we were looking at the structure of the business and going, okay, like we're at a really steady point now. We could like, what's the next thing? So for growth, it was like new markets, international, or new brands, new products. That's a really key part of like growing the business and to where we want it to be and where we saw it being. But we weren't just going to introduce any brand or any product into the range. And it was quite serendipitous how it happened, similar to TVH, because a company came to us and said, we've got this tech. It's in hair care. It's got all of these clinical sort of research behind it. It's been developed in Japan for 7 years. But I think there is so often these amazing technologies that get developed that never see the light of day, that never end up in customers' hands because people don't know how to sell to customers. Like, it sounds so simple, but unless you understand why they're buying, how they're becoming aware of products, what convinces them to buy, where they're shopping, what price point, like all of these things, then you're going to have an amazing product that just never reaches the right people.
That's what I always say. Like, I talk a lot about obviously marketing and business here on this podcast. That's what the whole thing is.
Yeah.
And my number one thing that I always say to people is, if I wanted to start a business, and let's say I had no followers and nothing, the first thing I would do obviously is work out, what business it's going to be, all that kind of stuff. But the first thing I would do is build my socials.
Yes.
Like, for years.
Yeah.
Before even getting to that point of then launching, because I think a lot of people obviously do it the other way around, where they know they want to start a business, they work so hard on the products, the packaging, the branding, everything looks amazing, the website, and then they go to launch it, but the customers aren't there.
Yeah, they can't reach people.
And it's almost like you've got to do it like the other way around.
Build demand before launch.
Yeah, because it's one thing to have that great product, but if you don't know how to sell it to people, if you don't know how to find customers, if you don't know how to build a community, where's your customers?
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like I mean, it's taken TBH 5 years to get to where it is now. And I never had a following before TBH or any of that. And I think I felt that when we launched. It was uphill battle. And we were lucky that we just had enough money at the time to sort of like invest in influencers or like have a little bit of a pool of something to like start the spark that we could then take and run with and sort of build our own social following from that.
We were just talking to Hannah, who is the producer of my other podcast, High Scrollers. Like, she works here in Nova.
Yeah.
And she was asking us who's coming on. We said that you were coming on. And she said back in the day, she used to do a lot of beauty content. And I think you sent her a moisturizer or something and she made some content for you back in the day.
I love that.
So is that what you did in the early days of TBH, like working with beauty creators?
Yeah, we did everything and anything back in the day. And I think that's pretty key is we would, work with micro influencer creators. We had like one-to-one relationships. I say like I was talking to them. I was like, how do you like it? I was briefing them. Like I was having catch-ups with them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was just everything that we could be doing, we were doing because it was like, well, we're starting out and we're at zero. So we're going to try absolutely everything to see what works and learn what works, what doesn't.
Yep.
And so that's why I say like you go through so much pain, obviously, in that process because you've got to fail like 500 times to get like one one big win. But that's how you learn.
What was the winning moment in TBH? Like, was there a moment?
Yeah, there was. We had wins along the way.
Yep.
We had Abbey Chatfield use the products, and she's an influencer that is so highly trusted with her audience that she doesn't just flog products.
Yep.
And she tried the products and got this amazing result, and people could see it.
I think I remember seeing this.
Yeah, it was
like
visible.
This was years ago.
Yeah. Years and years ago, like 2021.
Was it when like your packaging was like all orange and red? Like just,
yeah, it still is.
Yeah, but like you've built out more now. But was it like older packaging?
Yeah,
like,
it probably was. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The packaging's evolved over time. Yeah. So she used it, and I think like that was probably the initial like wave of customers that we really got through the door in like quite a large scale. I mean, it wasn't like. It was large for a startup. It was meaningful. And from that, it sort of built like earned media as well. Like there were building blocks, right, that happened. And a lot of community building early on, like I say, that one-to-one relationships with micros, with actual customers. Like it was me in the DMs. People knew that. They had like this one-on-one relationship with me, and then that grew.
Yep.
But the tipping point was a viral TikTok. And it was basically the one thing that took the business from break even or just burning cash every month to profitable.
Was it the Gen Z boss in a mini?
No.
What one was it?
It was me blind reacting in my car to a mention on radio that Abbey mentioned us on the radio and talked about our product.
I think I remember seeing this too.
And I said, oh my God, someone sent me this radio segment, and I just put my phone up. And this was me as like a rookie. I think I had like 400 followers on TikTok at the time, like very small scale. I think I'd posted maybe 3 videos.
Wow.
Like before this.
And so it was you reacting to Abbey on the radio?
Yeah, I was literally just, my phone was up in the car, and I was sitting there drinking my water and putting on my lip balm and just listening to this clip.
And that was what like blew it up?
Yeah. And then that video got 2.7 million views, and I woke up. I literally didn't open the app again. This is how not on TikTok I was.
You just chucked it up. Yeah.
And then I did not open the app until the next morning because I woke up and I looked at Shopify, and we had hundreds of orders. And I was like, what on earth? Where has this come from?
Wow.
Like I was used to, some days there would be like 2 to 10 orders. Like I would come through and I would pack.
Yeah.
And next minute I'm like, well, how on earth am I going to pack all these orders today? And where the hell have they come from? And I opened up TikTok and saw, I think at that point it was at like 100,000 views. And I was like, wow, okay. And then from that moment on, I think that was 2.5 years into the business. I had learnt that moments like that do not come around often.
Yes.
So when it happened, I was like, I'm not letting this, go out of my sight. I'm milking this for all it's worth. So I took it, media covered it. I took the media articles that were written about it and put it into ads. Like it was like this whole flywheel that then just created itself. And we repurposed it in every single way that we could. I started filming follow-up videos like, oh my goodness, look at all the orders that have come in, unpacking them. Like, and I think from that moment on, we just never looked back. We never let that moment pass us by.
I think it just goes to show as well, like, I always talk about the importance of like organic socials and posting content, and it can feel so mundane and like you're getting nowhere with it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that you just have to keep being consistent at.
Yeah.
And at some stage, sooner or later, it might be next week or it might be in 3 years,
Yeah.
there will be that moment, like the moment that you had where you just posted that one video and thought nothing of it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Change the whole trajectory of your business.
Yeah. And I always say now, I think I've spoken about this on my socials, but there are so many times, probably pretty close to that moment, that I was like, I'm going to give up. Like I don't know how much more I've got to give. And it's like, that is a visual of a guy chipping away at like a rock, and he's almost like literally almost at the edge of the rock, and he turns around and walks away.
Yeah.
And it's like the minute you think like you're ready to quit is often the moment like right before like the miracle's going to happen. And it's happened to me so many times. I cannot explain how many times something has happened and I've felt like, fuck, like I can't do this anymore. And then bam, like miracle lands in your lap.
Let's circle back to Bouf.
Bouf, how did we get here?
Us just naturally talking about everything else other than. So you've launched Bouf just recently.
Yeah.
And it was everywhere.
Yeah.
For the right reasons and also for some other reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've launched it recently. It's been absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it looks like it has been a massive success.
Yeah.
But it's also come with a lot of backlash on social media.
Yeah.
Did you always know that you wanted to bring in an influencer to be like the face of the campaign and the brand? Was that always like part of your plan? And did you know that it was always going to be Indy? Or were you exploring other people as well?
I would say there was like 2 people we were looking at, but Indy was always the one that we were sort of set on. And yes, from the moment we were looking at, well, what are the learnings from TBH and the success, and how are we going to give ourselves the fastest start? How are we going to break into the category in a meaningful way? I knew that having someone like Indy on board was going to be a critical component of doing that. But I also knew that if the partnership wasn't genuine, if they weren't a genuine believer in the products, like I think I saw the power of Abbey just by the fact that she was so genuinely a user of the products for years. She had the result. Like I wanted to replicate that with someone like Indy, who had that size and following.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why the trial component of that partnership was so important, because it was like, if it doesn't work for you, if you don't see a result, if you can't tangibly document that result either and really genuinely speak to it, then it's never going to work.
And so did you also work with other influencers when you launched Bouf? Or was it, you did it all kind of thing?
Yeah. So we had her as sort of like the central launch face, and she was able to speak to her results that she'd had with the products and the trial where she documented everything. But we didn't just rely on that. We were like, okay, we also knew there was an opportunity to create a bit of a halo effect with other creators also doing the same thing to validate it again. So it wasn't just Indy got a result, it was also that person got a result and this person got a result, and people were seeing it the minute it launched, like straight away into their feeds, which meant reaching out very early on, getting these people trialing when we were still in sample product phase. Like they had been using it for months before the brand launched.
There's a lot of negativity online and people feel a certain way about influencers.
Yeah.
What do you say, I guess, to the behind the scenes of that? Because the majority of people, I think, like they hate influencers.
Yeah.
They don't trust them. They think they're shady.
Yeah.
They think they don't care. But obviously, and maybe they think that also influencer marketing doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I think like you can obviously talk to it working.
Yeah.
Like what do you feel about influencers and influencer marketing?
I love influencers and I love influencer marketing. I think that, people have a certain perception of it. I do find that quite interesting because my dealings with influencers typically have been very genuine. And sure, I think, look, there's an element of, there's big brands in market, I'm sure, that offer big money to influencers and they'll take it to promote products that maybe they otherwise don't use. I don't know. That's not been my experience. We're not a brand that is able to offer the most amount of money. Let's put it that way. I don't think that we're working with influencers who are only after a cash grab because there's a bigger cash grab elsewhere. So my personal experience of working with influencers is actually developing one-to-one relationships with them. Almost like I've become friends with a lot of the influencers that we've worked with. I've seen how much they've bought into what we've created. Like even across TBH, we've got so many fans of the brand that are influencers because they know us personally. They know my team. They'll come to events. They know everyone's names in the team. They interact with everyone. It's just such a different experience, I think, than what people from the outside in would think that it is. It's not to say that that doesn't exist elsewhere. I'm sure it does in the influencer scene.
The same way it would exist in normal workplaces. There's nice people and there's not nice people.
Yeah.
But I think there's just a magnifying glass when it comes to influencers.
Yeah.
And it's they're all this, that and the other.
Oh, people love to put people in neat little buckets though. I find it's always easier for people's brains to think more binary, like it's either this or that. There's a spectrum. Yeah, like you said, there's probably those people in the industry that are like that, but I think classifying all influencers as disingenuous and, people saying that, if an influencer promotes it, it's like scamming people. But I'm also you're insulting the everyday consumer who can think for themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's I feel like people are on a bit of a moral like high horse to be like, I need to be the one to shatter like this illusion and tell people that it's not real, because otherwise other people are going to go spend their money and they'll be brainwashed. It's like you're actually insulting the person next to you who does have a fully formed brain and can think for themselves. And I don't know, I just find it a very interesting conversation to watch play out online. I've seen it at mass scale with the Bouf launch.
Yeah, so on that, there was obviously a lot of conversation happening around when Bouf launched and when everyone found out Indy was going to be a part of it and the face.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have to go there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the wigs.
She wants to talk about the wigs.
I want to talk about her wearing the wigs
Okay.
in the campaign. Did you know when you were planning your campaign shoot and everything that people were going to feel one way or the other when it came to all the clips with Indy wearing wigs?
You know what? Probably not.
What?
Yeah. You know what? I don't think that I really grasped the scale of that. That wasn't rage bait.
See, that's like so interesting to me because from my perspective, I guess like as an outsider, both as a consumer and business owner, my mind thinks you did that on purpose.
I wish I could say I'm that clever. I didn't. No, genuinely, I didn't. Which I think there was no intent to outrage at all.
Yeah.
There wasn't obviously intent to deceive. We genuinely were just building a really playful launch campaign.
And it looked cool. Like, it looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I think, like, as well, it was obvious that you weren't saying your hair is going to look like this if you use our product.
Or we weren't saying this is now Indy's hair after
No,
using
like,
the
it was
products.
playful. And I fully saw that as well from, like, the brand standpoint. But I think, again, like, people just love to, like, criticize, like, straight off the bat.
I think I probably should have realised that doing this at the scale we were doing it at, we were probably going to get that feedback. Hilariously, I don't think I thought that much about it. And I think this is what happens when you are very close to the brand and you're building it, is sometimes you do miss, like, these quite large scale
You should have
things.
sent me a message, I would have said.
You would have been like, what the hell are you thinking? It's not that it never crossed my mind. I think I thought about it and I was like, well, obviously it's just like so overt that people are going to know like it's fake.
And for a visual, if anyone hasn't seen it, like she's wearing like a massive wig.
Like massive.
Like you can tell it's a wig.
And it was 6 different wigs.
Yeah, like there's multiple wigs.
There's multiple wigs. They are not her hair colour, not her hair length, like at all. Like it was a stylistic direction.
Yeah, and it's very like camp.
Yes.
I want to say. Like the whole like shoot and the theme is so extra.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that it's a wig.
Yeah, it was just all about how do we visually want this brand to show up in market and how is it going to be different to other brands in market visually and with a tone of voice and everything else. And that's what we were building. But I think what the piece that is maybe relevant here is the context was we had a 5-month video diary of her using the products and clearly showing a result that I don't think it really occurred to us that people were going to then look at this and think that that was like meant to be a representation of the actual result.
Yeah.
Because we were almost like dealing with that over here. Like we were like, we've covered that off. She's going to share her results with the brand in the way that's really organic to her because she's vlogged it in her own like way, in her own style. That's all done. Yeah. Like this was an awareness campaign.
This was just a fun brand shoot.
Yeah, like I probably wasn't that deep. But it like genuinely just ain't that deep.
I'll tell you what, all this wig chat, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Do you know that clip of that guy? He's an actor. And
it's like, do you
wear wigs? And he's like, no.
When will you wear wigs?
And then he just...
You know, Indy and I did that.
Oh,
we
really?
did it on TikTok
that's so
after the fact and she was wearing a wig and I was like, do you wear wigs?
Oh my God, that is the funniest thing. Have you seen that, Xander? Fuck, I got to show you.
So good.
So in conclusion with the wigs, it wasn't, from what I'm picking up on, is like it wasn't as big of a thought to you as then it was online. Like the reaction that came from it, you're like, oh, like you just weren't expecting that because it was just your campaign fun shoot.
Yeah, but the people of TikTok have said, oh my God, who approved that? Fire them. I'm like, I should be fired for that decision. I should be fired for that decision. I approved that. It was me. And yeah, maybe I probably should have seen that coming a little bit more. But yeah, it just wasn't.
On the shoot day, like I'm thinking, like, did anyone go? Did anyone say anything?
No. Are we just really stupid?
I mean, I think because I think I would have questioned it, maybe because I've been online for so long and I can almost like know how people are going to respond to something.
Yeah.
So then I think I would have had that thought process of, hang on a second, is someone going to say that we are telling people that this is what their hair is going to look like if they use our products? But
I think we were like, it was so overt that it was fake. It was like, this is how you're going to feel after using Bouf. Which is not an uncommon practice in advertising campaigns. It's like you depict how someone's going to feel. Like Red Bull doesn't actually give you wings.
Yes.
Like that is the equivalent. It's like, come on, guys. Like that in my mind, that's where I was heading with it. I was like, we are depicting a brand of feeling like it's not literal.
Yes, but I think TikTok, everything is literal.
Well, exactly. And then you have these people now saying, literally like you just said, she used wigs to promote a hair product. And people go, outrage. Oh my God, how did she do that? Fire her. You know what I mean? And so it's like, how did we get here? Like there's no nuance ever. Like there's no like reaching for more context. There's no like discovery on a platform like TikTok. It's just like, I'm going to hear something, be outraged and run in one direction. And that is exactly what happened. It's like a snowball.
I do find TikTok is like that in comparison to Instagram. People will take what you say literally.
Yeah. And they won't look for broader context. Like if it's a part 2 video, doesn't matter. Like it was, and I think that was a big learning for me actually in this. Like I think people have to remember, yes, we had TBH. We've been through quite viral moments with TBH, but it wasn't, I've never been through a launch of this scale with someone like Indy. I'm doing this for the first time and I am putting myself up online publicly and showing people the process. So when I miss something, when I don't ask at the campaign shoot, fuck, should we be using wigs or not? How are people going to respond to this? Well, yeah, I haven't been through something at that scale before. Maybe I should have seen that coming and I didn't. Welcome to building publicly online. Welcome to building a business. You fail. That's what happens.
I don't think it was a fail at all.
It wasn't at all.
No, I think it was great and I fully
But
get
you miss
it.
things. You get it wrong. Maybe I would do it differently next time. I actually don't think that I would, honestly. But yeah, like I think people probably just don't have the, I don't know, level of patience, or they don't like to hold space for you to get it wrong.
So after the whole wig debacle, like how has Bouf been since launch?
Yeah, it's been unreal. I mean, we've got the main problem that we've got at the moment is actually keeping it in stock.
Which is like the best problem ever to have.
Yeah, it's always the problem that you want to have. We can't keep it on shelf at Priceline. We can't keep it in stock online. And we already have people coming back and repeat purchasing the products.
How good.
So that is the marker for me of success. That is someone's used the product. They've already seen it working. They're coming back. They're repeat buying. The DMs that we're getting of people saying how much it's changed their confidence, or like how it's actually tangibly changed like their experience day to day with their hair, how they feel about themselves, all of that. But ultimately, like the scale in which we were hoping the launch would go to, it was more than that. So I think even though, you know, you can see certain things playing out in your feeds on TikTok or certain pockets of the algorithm saying certain things, ultimately at the end of the day, the reality for me was like what was actually going on in the team, in the four walls, how much fun we were having, what the sales were saying, how happy the customers were. Because at the end of the day, those people weren't our customers that were talking like that.
Exactly. And that's always a funny thing. I think it's so interesting. I feel like in general, female founders, and especially if you're in the public, like you're so easily scrutinized by everyone.
Yeah.
Like we live in a world where people want to support women and women in power and women in business, but they'll also be like the first people to get dragged through the mud.
I think we've got incredibly high expectations on women, and I think we demand a lot of females. And I think it's not a case of, you know, you hear a lot of the time it's like, well, we can still criticize a woman when she does the wrong thing. 100% you can. Like, hold people accountable. I got no problem with that. But I think there's something very different going on where it's like there's a pocket of the internet, I think, that are still really happy to see it when a woman gets it wrong or fails. But that is literally, like I said, part of the process. If you're going to build publicly, if you're going to build a business in general, you are guaranteed to get it wrong at some point. So instead of, sure, if it's offensive, if it hurts someone, if it hold people accountable, 100%.
Yes.
But it's like these things aren't that. They're not, doing wigs. I'm sorry, but that is an example of when you actually look at what happened and what played out. People didn't get scammed into buying snake oil or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the benefit of tearing down a business? What type of a world do we want to build? What type of a business environment in Australia do we want to have? We want to encourage innovation, encourage new jobs, all of these things. And that type of attitude just goes completely against that. And I think it's in general, but I see it play out all the time with female founders. I've seen it probably 5 times in the last month.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely crazy. And I think it's really important for founders, especially female founders, if you're ever in a scenario like that, and I see it all the time too online, just female founders just getting criticised left, right and centre for the things that they're not doing right. And like you said, when you're in business, you're going to do things wrong.
Yeah.
That's just a given.
Yeah.
We are just girls. We're just girls trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
We're not fucking perfect. No one is.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to always just focus on what matters the most, because, when people are writing horrible things online, it's easy to lean into that and want to continue reading it. But same for me recently. People have been saying that I'm one of the worst brands because I've started a cult. And, a lot of people in my position, they could get really upset by that and think, fuck, do people actually think this about me?
Yeah.
When in reality, people can call me a cult leader all they want because, like you said, I have sales coming in every day.
Yep.
My staff are getting paid every week.
Yep.
We can afford all of our bills. We're creating more jobs. Our customers are loving what they're buying.
Yep.
We've got people visiting our stores every day and walking out feeling amazing after finding something that they love. And that's what fucking matters to me.
100%. And it should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if someone is calling me a cult leader because I'm waking up every day excited to go to work. And I know that I'm doing something good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I think, you have to be humble enough to know you're going to get it wrong and you're not a perfect person. But if you're comfortable with that, it's it's okay to fail. That's actually part of the process. And I look at other cultures like America and, the US, and when people fail, it's they wear it as a badge of honor. It's I gave it a go. We don't do that here.
No.
We don't. It's oh, yeah, you can have a go, but then the minute you actually succeed or you try too hard, it's just sit down. People don't like that. I think it's something very interesting that I'm seeing at the moment play out.
The culture
online.
in Australia of people just wanting to see other people fail.
Or it's oh, yeah, have a go. They love an underdog.
Yeah.
The minute you're not the underdog, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So bloody interesting.
Yeah.
What's next on the cards for you?
We have a lot of exciting things coming up.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, restless always. Can never sit still. Always want to be on to the next thing. No, we've got new markets, so international launches for TBH, which is something quite scary because I think we've never done it. Something that I've never done before. So there's going to be a lot of fails and a lot of learnings, but I'm excited to sort of tackle that head on. And then, you never know, maybe some more brands or anything could happen.
Yeah.
We've got lots planned.
Me. Ooh. Maybe we'll do something together one day.
Maybe. Maybe we should start a cult.
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Who wants to be in it? Xander, you in?
I've already taken my blood oath when I signed up for the pod, so I'm in.
Yeah, he didn't even realise he signed up for it, so... But it's too late now. We always wrap up every big business episode with a tip of the week. It can be anything. It can be a business tip, life hack, personal hack, beauty hack, anything. Just a tip or something that you discovered recently or something that you swear by. Do you have any tips for us?
mine is just front of mind for me this week because I've gone through I would say 3-month stint of being relatively burnt out. And I've finally prioritized like sleep and a walk, proper sleep and a walk every day. And I feel like it's changed my life. So I would say when you're looking at your computer screen at 4:30, question how much you're actually going to get done and just piss off and go for a walk.
Nice.
Because it's an hour that you're probably going to spend staring at your screen or doom scrolling. You're not going to get that much done. And you'll have such clear thoughts when you go for a walk. That's probably not that best hack because
No, I
everyone
love
would
that.
do that.
Sometimes the simple things are the best.
Yeah.
And like when you're a founder, you can honestly put yourself last when it comes to like looking after yourself.
Yeah.
And the way that you eat and the sleep and the exercise. Like I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I'm the worst for it. What's
Really?
the time? 11:42 and all I've had is a can of V. You know, like I'm just
I had
shocking.
a protein yogurt as I was walking in here.
Yeah. But that's what it's like because you
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, oh, fuck it, I won't eat lunch today. Like I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
doing shit. But I
Yeah.
think looking after ourselves is so important.
Well, I just functioned so much better this week, actually. Like, I watched how different my energy was when I came into the building, which changed the energy for the team, which changed the output that we actually got for the business this week. And I was like, whoa, why have I not been doing this? Like, I noticed how much of a shift it was. And I was like, actually, that's the best time that I can spend is taking a break and taking a walk because I'm going to show up as a much better version of myself, which then actually has like this butterfly effect through the whole business. And I think we're in like a bit of a hustle culture is real. And I think grind and grit is so important when it comes to building a business. But there's a balance. And I think knowing when to just like be real with yourself, like is replying to emails for an hour better than going on a walk? No, go on the walk. Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to go on a walk.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a walk. Where can everyone find you and everything that you do?
On TikTok mainly. Rachael Wilde on TikTok and then TBH Skincare and Bouf. And Bouf Lab is the other brand that we didn't really talk about.
And what stores? It's everywhere, basically.
Priceline, Coles, Woolworths is TBH, Atomica. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Adore
it. We could have
Beauty.
talked about that too. Atomica, the new store that's out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in Newcastle. We'll probably never get it.
There's only one in New South Wales.
Oh, is there? In
Yeah.
Sydney?
Castle Towers.
Ah, interesting.
Random, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first store
I've
that
seen
opened.
it popping up all over my TikTok and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm never going to see that in Newey.
One day.
Yeah, one day. Well, it's been a pleasure. And we'll have to get you back on again. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Anytime.